Hello everyone, welcome back to Christopher's Book Club. Thank you again for joining me. I'm really glad you're here. I hope you guys have been reading lots, thinking lots, and feeling lots. That's right, the time has come. I'm talking about A Little Life. I'm going to show you videos that I recorded throughout the week reading this book. Some of them are absolute nonsense, some of them are just absolute ramblings. Lots of it I sound quite depressed when I've been reading it. I'm still even now trying to get over reading it, to be quite honest. The weather has been shit outside for the past couple of weeks, and it's just made it even more of a depressing sort of time, but also as much as it might not look like I had a good time, I also did think that this is just one of the best things I've ever read. So I hope you enjoy it. Hello everyone, thank you for coming back to my YouTube channel. That's right, it's time, we're gonna read A Little Life. Yeah, I'm gonna do a reading vlog of me starting today, reading, I just burped, that was gross. Reading A Little Life by Hannah Yanagihara. That's such a satisfying name to read. Everyone has told me to read this freaking book, and I've put it off for such a long time. I've tried to read it twice, I think, now. And for some reason, I kind of just gave up on it. But we're doing it. We're going to have to get through it because I know that it's going to make me cry. And I love books that make me cry. So here we go. Let's start today. I have read 50 pages of this so far this morning, which I haven't vlogged. And already I'm way more into it than what I ever was before. I don't know why the hell I wasn't into it 2 years ago. It's fine, we're gonna get through it. I'm way more excited to read it this time. This book, as you can maybe see, is a little bit tattered, a little bit old. It was actually gifted to me by the person I was dating at the time for a Valentine's gift. And it even has a little note from him in it. Yeah, Valentine's 2018, it says, love from Josh. Josh, if you're watching, I'm reading it for you now. Really excited. It's a huge, humongous book. I don't think I've ever read a book that is 700 and something pages long, so hopefully it goes well. Join me. I'm probably going to cry at some points and get a little bit snotty. Just embrace it. So I've been meaning to go a run all day, but I can't be bothered, and it's now 6 o'clock. The weather's shit outside, but I'm gonna try and go and listen to A Little Life on audiobook as I do it. I haven't listened to a book before when I've been running, so that might be fun. That wasn't a good angle, was it? Up here, Chris, up here. Yeah, so I'm gonna try and go a run and try and pretend that I've been really on top of my exercise this lockdown. So I'm just back from my run, and I just had some dinner as well, but I got quite sweaty, so I need to go have a shower. But I did listen to a little more of Little Life on an audiobook while I was running, and it was actually quite fun to do it. Jude is a liability, stuff is happening already, and I'm like, oh god, what's he doing? What's happening? What? Gosh, I just don't know what's going to happen next. But I'm going to go and listen and read more of it. Trying to get 100 pages done today. Yes, so I shall report back later. Okay guys, hello, it is now 20 past 10, and I've just had a shower and my hair is a bit wet, and I've just gotten to 100 pages done in A Little Life, which is further than what I think I've ever got. I don't know what the hell was wrong with me 2 years ago, and I was like, like being such a like moany ass, like, oh, I can't get through it, like done 100 pages. I must just be a better reader now, I don't know. But yeah, really I'm enjoying it so far. Thoughts? Jude is stressing me out. I don't know what is going to happen to him, or like I don't know if there's a weird, like I get this foreshadowing feeling that things are going to happen, and I just don't want them to, if they're going to be bad. I also, when reading it last time, kind of struggled to differentiate the different people, the four of them, but actually now I really have a really clear vision of who each of them are, which is good, which is helpful. I don't know why I gave up on it, because like, it's brilliant, the writing is brilliant. The writing is brilliant. You know, I sometimes think that I want to like write something and be a writer, but then I think, what's the fucking point? Because people like this guy just writes so effortlessly that I'll never be as good as that. But that's negative. I shouldn't think like that. But still, that's what I've got so far. I am going to listen to a bit more of it in bed later on. And then tomorrow, hopefully we can get through another 100 pages. I'm going to try and crack this one out in a week as much as I can. Not really ready for the trauma that everyone keeps talking about. Maybe there might be some trauma tomorrow. Really what I need just now during lockdown. But yeah, I will check in with you guys tomorrow. Yeah, good night. Good morning. I haven't went for a shower yet. I look a bit tired. But I've just been reading more of, you guessed it, if you can see it. I'm on page 134 now. I'm listening to it as I read it. It's really helpful. I'm really enjoying doing it. There's just like this little bit in here that kind of made me feel something. This one of the main guys in it, Jude, has a really good friendship with his mentor, whose name is Harold. And Harold's kind of seeming to be like a father to him. And this is maybe a spoiler bit, so maybe, I don't know, do you want, I mean, it's not really a spoiler, but you can skip this bit if you want. But yeah, Harold's son had gotten sick and died, and he had like a little ornament on his bookshelf, which Jude knocked over and kind of broke by accident, and Jude was really sorry and so embarrassed and felt so bad. And he left Harold's home because he was over there for like dinner or whatever. He writes a letter of apology to him saying just how sorry he was, and then Harold writes this back. And a few days later he got a reply, also in the form of a real letter, which he would keep for the rest of his life. Dear Jude, Harold wrote, "Thank you for your beautiful, if unnecessary note. I appreciate everything in it. You're right, that mug means a lot to me, but you mean more, so please stop torturing yourself. If I were a different kind of person, I might say that this whole incident is a metaphor for life in general. Things get broken, and sometimes they get repaired. And in most cases, you realise that no matter what gets damaged, life rearranges itself to compensate for your loss, sometimes wonderfully. Actually, maybe I am that kind of person after all. Love, Harold." So yeah, I've listened to a bit more, and now I'm going to do some errands around kind of where I live, do a bit of shopping and things I need to get. Might listen to a bit more while I do it, but hopefully I will report back later. I'm going to try and get another 100 pages done today, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I hope you like my mask, and yeah, I will report back soon. Okay, hello. It is now Wednesday evening. I left you, I think, Tuesday afternoon. Clearly not very good at this vlogging thing, never mind. Yeah, so I have so far read 250 pages of it. I'm going to try and get another 50 in by tonight. So I finished all of the second part of the book known as The Postman. Learned a lot of stuff about Jude. I had this dread reading it, because the more I read it, I'm very happy for what happened to Jude. But I had this I felt this impending doom was gonna come. But it didn't. It's fine. We're okay. Everyone's alive. Everyone's thriving as much as they normally do, within the circumstances. Yeah, I'm on the third part now, which is known as Vanities. And it's kind of gone a little bit slow again. Because yesterday I was really like, okay, give me the next bit, give me the next bit, give me the next bit. So I've kind of slowed down a little bit, but yeah, next 50 pages, hopefully tonight. Yesterday I ended up, I didn't really do much. I went to a garden centre, bought some plants, which was fun, watched Netflix. And then today I've kind of done the same thing, but I've been doing a little more life admin work. The weather's still absolute cack outside, so yeah, feeling quite accomplished that I'm getting this far through it so far, because literally I think the last 2 times I did that much. So we're doing good. I do feel that I'm going through it quickly, but I am taking it a lot in. I'm listening to the audiobook as I read it, and it's really, really helpful and useful. Like, there are maybe moments where it's like, it is kind of heavy and I'm a bit like, okay. But I'd rather not take time to just sit back and like think about it a lot. I'd rather just keep going with it and kind of going on the ride with it, as opposed to being like, I'm going to put this down now for a long time and think about it and not come back to it until I'm ready. I'm enjoying feeling it all. Yeah, they're my ramblings of tonight. So far there's no, I'm not feeling the trauma. It's not traumatic to me yet. I'm sure I will eat my words at a later point. It does say devastating on the front page, so, you know, that's how I like my books. I will speak to you again later. Nice summer in London, just casually raining, dull and grey. I usually like to sit there if I'm reading the books, but not today because it's cold. So I'm quite a messy baker, and I just leave stuff lying everywhere, but chocolate! I was listening, I had to stop. I'm just going to say the name Caleb. And now I don't know what's happening. I don't know. And I'm fucking so angry about Caleb. And just... I was just being nice and wholesome, just making my cookies, like minding my own business. And then I was like... oh, fuck. God damn it. I just had to go and get myself a cookie that I baked earlier. How good does that look? Because I just need a moment. So I'm gonna stop reading A Little Life tonight. I've gotten to part 5, known as the Happy Years. I really hope they are. I really hope they are. Because yeah, I'm on page 423 is when I finished. And I honestly feel like I've been hit by a train, and that might sound dramatic. Remember, was it yesterday that I literally said in this vlog, I don't know, I'm not feeling the trauma yet, I'm not really feeling traumatic. I I'm fully eating my words. I'm not even laughing because it's like funny, like there was moments where I actually struggled to read what was happening because it's so awful. I definitely got teary-eyed at one point, not full on like crying tears, but definitely got teary-eyed. And then also I just had to stop at moments. I was listening on the audiobook as I was reading, but sometimes I had to just like put the book down and like stare into space whilst I was listening to what was happening, because I just like, yeah, crazy. It is dark, it is heavy. I kind of can't believe that I'm reading this during lockdown, during this time that we're having. I don't actually think I'm emotionally stable enough to go on. That's currently where I'm at. So I'm literally gonna have my chocolate cookie, I'm gonna put on some Netflix, and I'm just gonna leave it there tonight. I also had that moment reading this part. I realised why the book is called why it is, or at least I think I do. And I love that moment when you're reading a book and you realise, oh, that's why it's called that, you know? But if the reason why it's called A Little Life is because of the thing that I read, that is bleak and dark. And if I'd known that, it would have been 10 times harder to pick up this book and read about it had I known the subject matter. Like, this must be such a triggering book for so many people. I can't ever relate to something like that, thank God, because I've never experienced abuse in any sort of sense at all like that. But I'm able to, my eyes are opened by reading this and the account of it. Yeah, as you can see, I'm sort of lost for words. I don't really know what to say. It's a bit incoherent in what I'm trying to say, but wow, I'm gonna put it to bed tonight. I'm gonna watch some Schitt's Creek or something nice, even though I'm nearing towards the end of Schitt's Creek, and I know that that's also a sad, not anything like this, but it's gonna be sad, so maybe I shouldn't even watch that. Maybe I should just watch Friends or something like that. That's all I got for you. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Please, for the love of God. Part 5, The Happy Years. I really bloody hope it is. I'm watching Golden Girls just because I need to take a break. That's right, Golden Girls. God, I'm wearing this jumper again. It must look like I have no other clothes. So I'm going to be honest, I took a break because after the Axiom of Equality, part 4 of this book, I just had to take a moment because I felt like it was a lot. A lot. It's brilliant, but I still just had to just take a moment. So yeah, I ended up, what day is it now? Today's Sunday now, but I took a break on Friday, and I just did fun things. What did I do? I watched Hamilton on Disney Plus, which was amazing. One of the best things I've ever seen. I haven't seen in the theatre, and it just like blew me away. Blew it all away. Yeah, I friggin' loved it. Kind of just like binged Netflix. I watched The Golden Girls. I watched that documentary on how Frozen 2 was made on Disney Plus as well. All the things to numb me and not deal with this book. Yeah, and that's what I did. And then yesterday was a horrible grey day, all day. And I didn't do very much. I did a workout. I did more Netflix, but I did end up reading and listening to more of A Little Life in bed. I'm on The Happy Years. I'm doing well. I'm almost halfway through that part. I'm very happy by what's happened. There's been a change of events with Willem and Jude. It's very good. I'm very pro what's happening. It's beautiful. But I'm so scared. I'm so scared because I guess it's not gonna end happy somehow. But for what it's worth just now, I'm just going on for the ride. I'm just like, yep, I'm taking all this in. It's nice, it's good. I'm waiting for my impending doom. But I'm gonna try and see if I can get the happy years done today. So I'm left with Dear Comrade and Lisbonard Street again for the last bit of it. So I'm a day late. I'll finish it probably hopefully by tomorrow. I am going for dinner for the first time since the pandemic happened, in this cute little restaurant that's just up the road from me. It's all gonna be socially distanced, it's not that busy. I'm just gonna have a nice little bit of Spanish food and some wine. Yeah, and that's pretty much what my day's gonna go like. But I am very happy just now in the happy years with Willem and Jude. If you know, you know. But I will get back to you soon. And hopefully I'm still in one piece. I've just finished The Happy Years, which is the 5th part in A Little Life. I am a little bit behind. I said I was going to read this in a week, but can't do it. Not because I don't think it was possible. It's just because the final parts of this book I'm kind of trying to read a bit slower and kind of take it all in and not just be like, okay, next bit. I kind of need moments of reflection at the end of it. I am going to not finish the last bit tonight. I'm going to wait until tomorrow because I've got something on this evening. But what I've just read in the final bit of The Happy Years, is not good. Is not happy. And I think I'm about... God. I thought there was someone in my house there when there shouldn't have been, because I'm on by myself just now. Basically, the last bit of The Happy Years, if the next bit is just going to be... I'm guessing why it's going to be devastating and traumatic already. I'm just not ready for it, to be quite honest. Amazing that I found out why Jude is the way he is and why his legs are not good for him and stuff like that. I learned that part of his story, which was awful, but yeah, I wanted to know throughout reading the whole thing why. And also just the relationship between Willem and Jude has just been... This isn't going to be good about what I'm about to read next. It's just relentless. It is actually relentless. Like, there's moments where I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm going to do the next part probably tomorrow. I did have one of those like single moment tears like earlier reading it. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I won't cry. Maybe I'll be like absolutely fine and be like, oh yeah, it's cool. Probably not. But yeah, I will check in tomorrow. Really close to this green plant just now. Yeah. It's done. I have finished A Little Life. I didn't actually sob my eyes out, which I was kind of expecting to. Not because I'm a stone cold horrible person. I think I just actually I couldn't let myself get taken to that place, because if I did, I'd be a wreck and I wouldn't come back. So I kind of like composed myself as I read it. Yeah, there's a lot of things I want to say. I've actually been really struggling to read having finished it. I've tried to read Felix Ever After, which is very, very light, young adult novel, but it's taken me forever because I think I've got a book hangover, really. I think I've got a book hangover. And even now trying to talk about how I feel about it is still, it's very incoherent, and I can't really, I've written down some things that I want to say, but they don't even fully make sense. But I'll tell you some. First of all, it is relentlessly sad. Like, every moment it can, it will punch you in the gut and make you feel awful. It's nothing like I've ever read before. I've never read anything like that book. And with that alone, it is absolutely a 5-star book for me. It's amazing that so many people have said it's one of my favourite books of all time. I don't know if I would necessarily say that it's my favourite book or one of my favourites, because it is hard, but it's definitely just like, I think a masterpiece that everybody should read. The depth of the characters, and the development of them throughout the story. You know, how we learn at the start that, oh, Jude has something wrong with his legs. So we start to wonder, well, why is that? Then we literally get like a little an inkling of why, and you're like, oh God, and then you're hooked throughout the entire thing to find out why. It just is crazy good. Also, it kind of says that it's a story about these 4 friends who live in New York. That's a lie, because it's really not about the 4 friends, even though they all are involved in it. It's mainly about one guy, and that guy is Jude. And then everyone else is more of the supporting cast, I would say. Reading the book, it just made me aware of how human the story is. Like, it's such a human story. It just reminded me of how fragile humanity is, and the stories that we have, and the things that happen to us in our lives. It is the realest book that I've ever read. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. I also think I really connected to this book because I'm an artist, I'm a creative as well, and I was able to connect to the stories of these people, and their struggles with things like mental health and what is expected of them as young males growing up in that sort of industry, you know. And there's a passage in the book which I actually need to try and find again, where Willem talks about being an actor and what that kind of is like, and it really was, I was just like, that is it right there in a passage. That's exactly my life. And when you get bits of like that in a book, I'm making it out as if this book is just so sad and horrible, and if you're watching it, you'd be like, well, why the hell would I ever want to read it? Do not get me wrong, there are beautiful, fucking beautiful moments in it, and there are happy moments in it too, and moments where you're smiling, even perhaps through tears, but you're smiling because you're just so happy for the characters or the moments in it. But it is still tinged with sadness all the way through. Like, I can't deny it. It is just hard going. The other thing I thought of was like, fuck, can somebody please make this into a TV show on Netflix or Amazon? I understand why that would be difficult, because there's a lot of subject matter which, how the fuck do you talk about that or address that in TV shows in the right way? It would have to be done perfectly, but if it was, like, it would win all the awards. And like, oh, can I be cast in it, please, somehow? Yeah, but maybe it's the most depressing book I've ever read. I would say so. In saying that though, I just think everybody should read it. It's one of those books that everyone has to read. Everyone has to read it. I found like 2 little bits. The one bit at the end, the bit that kind of made me have that kind of, again, that sort of 1 or 2 tears just fall down gently in my my face, was when I think it's Harold is talking about Jude and the aftermath of what happens, and he just talks about kindness, and he says, and so I try to be kind to everything I see, and in everything I see him. And if you just know, if you know, then yeah, that for me was like so sad. I get emotional now even thinking about it. Yeah, I've read it. It's on my list of books that I have read, and I'm fucking proud. And everyone should read it. Go and read it. Maybe don't read it during a global pandemic, but read it at some point because you will not regret it.